friends. Now we got some people starting to join. Very nice. All right, everybody. How are we tonight? Okay, so as you guys know, we are here to talk about Pick Out a Cloud. Pick Out a Cloud video just dropped on Friday, so let's go ahead and, you know, my favorite thing you guys do is ask questions because otherwise I'm just rambling into the void. So if you guys have any questions about Pick Out a Cloud or Mystic in general, let's go ahead and send them in. Thank you for saying my hair is cute. My mom braided my hair for me. She put it in box braids, and it makes me really happy. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I know, like, everyone's going live because everyone's stuck in quarantine. So, hi, Terrence. Please don't make me do burpees right now. How long did it take to shoot this video? Okay, so it took 1 day to shoot this video. We were only on location for 1 day for this one. We were in Loose Park in Kansas City in the Rose Garden and throughout the park. If you're in Kansas City, you recognize the location immediately, I'm sure. Here we go. Pick Out a Cloud is so aesthetically pleasing. I agree. It's nice. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty one. It's probably one of the prettiest of the videos, just speaking like in terms of, like you said, aesthetic and visual pleasure. Thank you guys so much for being so precious and sweet. Like usual, I'll remind you guys that I'm reading every nice thing you're saying. I'm just not going to read every nice thing out loud because it'd be weird to sit here and read compliments to myself. Hi, Shay. Was any part of this video harder to react than others? If not, what video was the hardest or the easiest? This was a fairly easy video. It really was because it was so abstract and there wasn't really acting in terms of like interacting with other characters and things like that. It made it pretty simple. The hardest video to do from an emotional standpoint was probably A Cut Rose and Tap Water. The hardest video to do from a technical, like, production standpoint for me was probably Fun, because getting the house party, we had a couple issues with pulling together the house party scene, and so there was a lot of last-minute calls being made, so pulling that together and, like, making it as fun as it was, like, definitely a shocker. Then in terms of the easiest video, a lot of the, like, it felt really natural. I really have my acting coach, Chris Gobert, to thank for that, because he really killed it when it came to preparing for this role, and helping me prepare for this role. So everything came pretty naturally. Okay, so you said this was the girl dreaming, correct? Yeah, so like I mentioned last week, we are, as we progress through the Mystic film, we're seeing everything from the perspective of the girl, and we're kind of in her mental. And as we've already discovered through the last 10 video installments, she kind of processes things in a series of flashbacks and fantasies. We notice that a lot. There's a lot of flashbacks that happen throughout the films, and there's a lot of her imagination at work. This is the most fantasy-based visual because it is all in her imagination. And this entire video is representative of her newfound bliss and all of that. You know, like, this is kind of where the fantasy is actually happy for once and not a fantasy of death and destruction. So, where did the girl go at the end of the video? God, what happens at the end of the video? So, she is just, again, that's kind of the segue out of the moment, you know, out of the fantasy, is just her literally laying in the grass so she can look up and pick out clouds. It's very literal. How goes the self-isolating during the COVID-19 outbreak? Party on, baby. It sucks. But I have it better than most, probably. That sounded really arrogant. I mean, by that I mean I can work from home. I'm fortunate to have a good home situation, and all that. So really asking me isn't much. But a reminder that every Sunday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. we're going live to talk about surviving COVID-19 and all this crazy shit that's happening right now. So if you guys want to come and vent about everything that's going on, discuss with others how we're all going to get through this together, tomorrow, on Sundays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. CST is that's where I am hosting a little forum to talk about everything. So if you want to talk and chat and have a good time, you know where to go. You said every track has a name before you write to it. Did you want to use the name Pick Out a Cloud in the chorus? If so, are all tracks like that? Okay, so what I meant by that is every track, when Seven sends me the beat is named. So the beat for one song might be called... say, like one of the ones I just recorded, the beat was called Torn, but the song name after I wrote it was entirely different. And that's pretty much how it works with every song. The beat is named, and then we take that name and change it when the song is written to whatever's appropriate. However, with Pick Out a Cloud, as soon as I always try to figure out why Seven named a beat what he named it. And for me, what I thought I discovered when I was listening to the beat is the part of the beat that sounded like the words Pick Out a Cloud, or at least it did to me. And I was like, oh my god, I have to keep this. This is exactly what I meant. Like, it was weird. It was just one of those serendipitous moments where it kind of just came together, where my intent and his vision kind of aligned perfectly. And so his name for the beat really inspired the song. What artist am I looking forward to working with? I think it'd be cool to work with like a Flume or a Kanye or 100 Gex in terms of like production and stuff. Those are probably my top 3 production dreams. What inspired this video? I'll kind of expand on things I've already said. Obviously, like I've said, this is like a fantasy in her head, but really, this is a video we had a really hard time writing, me and Taylor, the director at the Taylor Lamb, who is amazing. I've known him about half my life. He's like my big brother, and to get to work on this project with him was perfect and amazing. But anyway, when we were writing it, we were like, what do we do for Pick Out a Cloud? Like, and so we decided to make it what it was, this just very fantastical, ethereal setting to express the evolution of her mind state. And it had this funny moment when we were filming the visuals where every single day leading up to filming Pick Out a Cloud, I was like, please let it be blue sky with a couple clouds, blue sky with a couple clouds. Like, let it just be that, exactly like the ideal for Pick Out a Cloud, right? But then we get there day of, and the entire sky is overcast, and it's all clouds. And I was like, no! Like, it was the opposite of what I wanted. But then I realized that this was like a sign, like the universe reaching out to me again for like the 1000th time over the course of this album. Where the reason why the sky was all clouds and I couldn't just pick out one was because I have so many things to be grateful for. I can't just pick out one. Sorry, I'm reading everything. I'm reading everything you guys are saying. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. What I hear when you talk about these series of videos is what Tech did with Cathartic. How true is this? I came up with Mystic before Tech came up with Cathartic. Okay. I'm not saying anyone inspired anyone else, right? But, like, Mystic was not inspired by Cathartic at all, even remotely. So I always like to point that out because I did not steal Tech's idea. If anything, he stole mine. Kidding. A technician who hates me is going to take that out of context and, like, blow it out of proportion, but I'm kidding. Pick Out a Cloud, not Pick Out a Cloud, Mystic, the film series was a thing far before, Cathartic was a thing, so we just happen to have similar ideas at the same time, I assume. How has this album shaped my perspective on my music? Great question. Finally with this album, like starting with Complications, which came out just before Mystic, if you'll remember, and then with Mystic itself, I finally had full creative control over my music, and it was finally me being expressed, which hadn't happened before. So really, this has kind of changed my perspective on my music, and that I finally like it and believe in it. Okay, someone says, the fantasy in Pick Out a Cloud, is it where she's at bliss and, like, dreaming of a marriage? Because the whole vibe and setting is what Pick Out a Cloud reminds me of. Pick Out a Cloud is not relationship-based. It's entirely about her relationship with herself. Would I do a live concert type of thing for Mystic since the virus is everywhere? Absolutely. I think that'd be really cool to do some sort of, like, online concert in light of all this. I think that'd be awesome. So what do I like about Mystic? And I'm guessing there's going to be a part 2 or something else. Much love, Mac. Hi, much love back. Mystic, I just love it because it, like, taught me so much, and it really, like, was a very beautiful experience for me. I learned a lot through doing Mystic, and this album really, like, saved me in a lot of ways and taught me just so much. It was such a, like, magical experience, for lack of better terms. But there will not be a part 2. A lot of people ask me this, if there will be a sequel to Mystic or, like, a continuation of Mystic, but there won't be. We said everything that needed to be said with this one, so she's done. And it's crazy because coming this week on Friday, it'll be done. Like, Goodbye will come out, and you guys will finally see the big picture, and it's going to be really crazy on Friday. Man, I'm, like, tripping out over it because, like, there's so much that happens in Goodbye that, like, ties up all the loose ends, and I think it's going to blow your guys' minds. Here we go. Will I make an acoustic version of Mystic? Maybe. That may or may not be something we've talked about a lot. Hi, O'Malley. Please go ahead, and like I said, we're talking Mystic and Pick Out a Cloud specifically. If you have any questions, things like that, please send them in so I don't just have to talk into the void, because if I have to do that for too long, then I will just get off here altogether. So, am I sad that it's almost over? Yeah. I'm very excited for you guys to see Goodbye, because it's very important, and, like, everything that happens in Goodbye, like, ties up the story perfectly, and I think you guys are gonna love it, but it's still sad, you know, because, like, it's over. Goodbye, the final scene in Goodbye, I sobbed on set. I'll talk more about that next week when we cover Goodbye, but it was so emotional for me, because it was over, and it was just done, and, like, filming this was the best 2 weeks of my life. I've never been happier in my life, and I haven't been that happy since, and so for all of it to just end, and now it's ending again, it's, like, insane. Did I write the song? I wrote every song on Mystic entirely by myself. This album was literally just me and Seven in a room making music. No one else contributed. Do I have a boyfriend? No. Ain't got time for that. I don't want to be rude for asking, but with your mental illness, did you know about it before you wrote Mystic or during, as well as did your significant other at the time know about you having it? So that's not rude at all. This entire album's about mental illness, so you can ask me whatever you want. I'm pretty much an open book. I knew about my mental illness my entire life because I had wanted to kill myself since I was 6, so it's kind of been a thing. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder before I wrote Mystic, though, so it did have a name and a face and a shape by the time that I wrote Mystic. And the significant other that I had that Mystic was written about, he was aware of everything I was going through. He didn't care, but that was before I was diagnosed with bipolar, so there wasn't really a name to put to it. He wouldn't have cared anyway, but yeah, so that's that situation. I had no significant other when we were doing Mystic, though, like when it was being recorded. Like I said, I know there's still on visual left, but is it too soon to ask how your next album is coming along? Yes, it is too soon to ask. I mean, I'm working on it, but like, I just released an album. Please just like Mystic. Like, have I performed on SNL? Certainly not. No one there knows who I am. Which album had more freedom, Mystic or The Edge? Oh, Mystic by far. It was the only album of the two that had freedom. So I take medications to stay stable. What other things do I do to keep things even? Yes, I do. Yeah, I take a lot of medication. I try to keep myself busy. I'm still figuring out how to cope with things. I don't have the secrets. I don't have any, like, solutions necessarily. I'm still kind of working on balancing with myself. I do therapy at least once a week with my psychiatrist. She's amazing. I owe her life, literally. So that helps. But really those are the two things. Like I always say I wish I could tell you to journal and meditate and that would solve it, but I can't because that's not my experience. But yeah, those are the two things for me. Have you ever made an actual attempt to take your life? Yes. Favorite water bottle brand? I like the boxed water just because I think it's cool that it comes in a box. Oh, thank you. Everyone keeps saying the braids are cute. I'm going to tell my mom you guys like them. I used to French braid my hair. These are box braids, but I used to French braid my hair a lot, like into pigtails like this back in like 2018. I did a lot because it was like my lazy hair thing. I need to do it again because like I miss it a lot. I'm a big fan. Please recognize me. Also, are you coming to Texas soon? If so, please respond to my messages. Hi, Brandon. Ugh. This is a great segue into my once alive announcement that if you want to ask me if I'm coming to your city or state soon, or if I will ever come to your city or state, know that I will eventually come to you, and if you don't know about it, then it's probably not happening soon. As soon as I know if I'm coming to your city or state, it'll be announced, and you'll know, so you don't have to ask me on here. I know you were being facetious, but for everyone who won't be, there you go. Did you have any tracks you didn't put on the album that you wanted on there? Nope. Every track we recorded got put on the album. Every single one. There wasn't a single one that got cut. When am I doing concerts again? I don't know. When's Corona going to clear up? When are any of us doing concerts again? Was the man in the Mystic movie series resemble the boyfriend, if I'm allowed to ask? If you mean, like, does he physically resemble the actual guy, the answer is no. But in terms of, like, yeah, no, he doesn't. But, because I considered it, but I was like, no, like, there were a few times where I had to remember that the visuals were not about me. Like, where I was like, oh, should I cast the boyfriend to look like the guy that Mystic was written in part about? And I was like, no, because it's about the girl. Like, the girl isn't, like, it's not my story. I'm not going to project my life onto it when it's about her. Hints as far as concepts you're going for in your next album. Just getting weird, dude. We're just gonna experiment, have some fun, see what happens, you know? Like, I'm not doing another concept album for a long time. I have my next concept album planned, but it's not coming for a long time, so don't get excited. Yeah, this next album is just about being, you know, crazy and off the wall and just having a good time with it and making cool art, and that's about it. Like, there's no specific direction other than that. It's like, I keep saying the colors are yellow and orange, but I'm still working on it. Before then, I think I'm going to release a few things that aren't the album. Like, I'm going to release a few things between now and the album coming out. The next album, I mean. But the next album is in the works. I took all my nails off, not by choice. They all started coming off, so now I have little child hands. I have the hands of like a 9-year-old boy. It's ridiculous. But yeah, the nails are gone. And my nail beds are so wrecked from having nails, it's disgusting. Like, they are horrifying. So I can't even paint them, really. Like I look like a grubby little boy. Why did I decide to make my stage name Mackenzie Nicole? I didn't really. I was at my old house, and I was, like, walking up the stairs, and we were just about to put Acting Like You Know out, and my mom was like, hey, do you want Mackenzie Nicole to be your stage name? And I was like, sure. And that was, like, the end of the discussion. I didn't even come up with it. I have a lot of regrets about it, because I have another name I'd much rather make it. Like, I'd much rather have my stage name be something else. I'm not going to tell you what. But can't unring that bell, baby. What inspired me to do music? I just kind of always have done music. It, like, really wasn't a thing that was inspired. I was singing as soon as I could form words. I hummed before I could talk. I've been doing opera since I was 6. I've been playing piano since I was 6. Recording professionally since I was 9. Like, it's just always been a thing. I didn't really, like, make a conscious decision to do it. Does the Mystic have a name? Nope, she's just the Mystic. If she does have a name, I don't know it. Would I ever act in a movie? Oh, absolutely. I loved acting for Mystic, so I'd love to do more film. What do you do when you get in a down mood? Just curious. Music has brought me out of some dark places, but sometimes it don't do it. Wondering if you have any outlets. Also bipolar. Sorry you're bipolar. That sucks. We're in the same boat, buddy. Yeah, I'm not really good at handling when I'm down. I'm still working on that. Again, it's like all a work in progress, right? But that's kind of one of the things I'm working on. I just talked to my therapist about it today. I was like, listen, like, I need to figure out a hobby. Like, I need to figure out a way to cope when I'm not doing well, because I don't really cope well. But anyway, I wish I could give you a better answer than that. I like writing, I like reading, I clean a lot, but I'm also super OCD, so that becomes kind of a compulsive thing rather than anything. And so, yeah, I'm trying to just find things that are outlets. That's kind of a work in progress for me. What song off Mystic makes me the most emotional? It kind of depends. I'd say that A Cut Rose and Tap Water brings me down the most. Happy hurts my feelings a lot. Like, Happy makes me cry a lot. I don't know. It's a lot. Most of them, like, elicit a really strong emotional all of them elicit a really strong emotional reaction from me, but I'd say probably Cut Rose and Tap Water and Happy. You have a crazy vocabulary. What's the biggest word you know? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, probably. I'd say that's probably the biggest word I know. What's my favorite time of the day? Okay, this is really hard for me because, like, I love morning, like, before the sun rises when it's still dark out. But I hate waking up because, like, I'm really, like, severely narcoleptic, so I have a ton of sleep issues, obviously. So I have a really hard time waking up in general. So my preferred time to be awake is, like, before the sun comes up, like, when it's still dark outside, like 5 in the morning. Just getting there, that's difficult. If I could name it, pick out a cloud, what would I name it? I have no idea. That's so hard, because it really, like, all these songs are exactly what they're supposed to be, and I can't imagine them being any different. I'm sorry, that's a cop-out. In one of the videos, the girl is shown in a physically abusive relationship. Was this the hard part to reenact? It was actually one of my favorite scenes to shoot, which sounds super screwed up. Let me explain. So there's a scene in Happy where he, like, they get in a fight and he shoves her against the wall, and I think it's kind of implied in that moment that this is not the first time that he's gotten physical with her, but it will certainly be the last, you know? And the reason I love filming that scene was there was this moment when I was filming with Marcus, the actor, who played the boyfriend, and we were walking through it, we were blocking. And when we were, like, blocking him pushing me against the wall, I was like, you can actually shove me. Like, you don't have to fake shove me. Like, you can hit me. I do not care. And so he did. And he, like, slammed me against the wall. And the pictures fell down and all this. And so my natural reaction before I could stop myself was just to hit him back as hard as I could. And he, like, flew across the room. And he's like, what was that? Like, we're acting. Stop it. And I was like, whoa. I just, like, pushed back. Like, I defended myself. And that was really cathartic for me, because in real life I didn't. But the girl did. And that's amazing. Like, she did the thing that I wasn't brave enough to do. And I think that's really crazy. So that was, like, one of my favorite scenes to do, honestly. Because it was finally closing a chapter. You know what I mean? Like, it was the happy ending to that moment and that experience. If the Mystic had a name, what would it be? I don't know. Like, I always say, I'll say it again, you guys have all heard me say it 1,000 times, like, I didn't come up with Mystic. It existed in the universe independent of me. I just happened to be the person who found it and manifested it. But her name has not been revealed to me by the universe yet, if it ever will be. I don't think it probably ever will be. So I'm not really sure what it would be. It's not my decision. We know nobody has the magic answers, but what would you tell someone they confessed to you they had a plan to end their life? What advice would I have? My first advice is seek psychiatric help and consider medication if necessary. I'm very pragmatic and very practical when it comes to this. I'm not really much of a, fill you up with a bunch of, like, feel-good bullshit. I'm very much like, here's the problem, here's the solution when it comes to this, because that's how I managed. You know what I mean? Because for me, like, being told I mattered and all that didn't help me at all. Like, being told, like, every life is significant, you deserve to be happy, that didn't mean anything to me, so I'm not going to say that to other people, even though it's true, because it wasn't helpful for me, so I doubt it'll be helpful for them. Maybe that's presumptuous, but if I had to give some sort of abstract, some intangible advice, it would be this phrase I always repeat, which is that you are not the special case that cannot be solved. There is help for everyone. Something or someone can help you, no matter what's happening to you. And if it's not in your immediate vicinity, if you can't find someone or you can't find something, you just have to keep looking, because it is there. The universe is filled with infinite possibilities. There's not a thing that doesn't exist. And that includes help for you. So, that's my 2 cents. Hi, Rose. Hi, Dee. What do I think about mumble rappers? Love them. I'm gonna get so much hate from technicians for that, but, like, because most technicians are very, like, classic. They like choppers. They like old school rap. I love new age rap. I think it's fantastic. I love emo rap. I like some mumble rappers, or whatever I don't know who you consider a mumble rapper. Like, if you throw out names, I can tell you. I'm not a fan of everyone, but I like a lot of contemporary rap, so I'm not the person to ask if you're looking for a hate fest. Do I plan on making more songs with King Isa? Why not? Jealous went really well, so. Would I have Prozac on my next album? I love working with Prozac. I think that'd be really cool. But, like, I don't really like having features on my albums. Obviously, I haven't had any yet. But it would be hard for me to imagine having someone on an album, because albums are such an intensely personal thing for me, where, like, I can't imagine having anyone else contribute because I'm selfish and weird. Can I pay to take you out for a lunch or dinner once the stay at home is over? You don't mean that. Did I have acting training for the videos? Yeah, I worked with an acting coach named Chris Gilbert out of LA. He's amazing. Like, Mystic would be nothing without him. Like, I would have done a terrible job. Like, I discovered so much about her, about the film in general, about the album in general through him, about myself. Like, he really killed it. Like, I couldn't have done it without him. I thought you were a little bit older when you guys did KOD. Nope, my first song with Tech, or my first song in general, was Demons by Tech 9 featuring 3 6 Mafia and myself. And I was 9 also when I did KOD. Where's Prozac been? He's been doing his TV show on the Travel Channel. It's called Haunting in the Heartland. And it's amazing. It's really good. I sang the theme song. It's a really good show. How'd I link up with Tech? I've known him my whole life. Do I ever see Prozac around? We don't live in the same place, but whenever he's in town, we link up because I love him, and he's, like, one of my favorite people. But I like horror movies. That's all I watch is horror movies. I like how she had a tiny Mystic eye on her beaded necklace and pick out a cloud. Any more Mystic merch in the works? First of all, you may notice the girl always wears an eye necklace. She has a plain one that's just a gold eye that she wears and when she's 23, so for the first 2 chapters, and then when she's 28 in the last chapter in Oxygen, so the last 4 songs, she's wearing the jeweled eye. And so it's kind of a representation of her evolution. But yeah, more Mystic merch in the works for sure. We got a lot of cool shit. Reading what you guys are saying. Sorry. How many albums do I have? Dos. If I could write an upbeat, positive song, what would it be about? Color of the song, instruments. Me writing an upbeat, positive song? No. Never. All of my upbeat songs always end up in pastels, but like, cause like one of the ones I wrote, it's not going on the next album, but it's going to be released before the next album. I'm not gonna tell you what it's called either. I almost spoiled that, but it's like a pastel pink and like sky blue. It's very pastel, like just like Complications was like Barbie baby doll pink. But I don't know, I'm hoping with the next album that like my upbeat songs and stuff are going to be like neons and like bright yellow and like vibrant orange and like all that. That's my goal. So what was the biggest impact on your life in I can't read. What's the biggest impact on your life in Mystic? Really the girl. The films, or I should say the film and the separate videos, that really changed my life because she made me understand a lot of things about myself, and me and her got really close. Yeah, probably the girl, because I didn't realize that me and her have a lot in common. I realize that more every day, and she's taught me a lot. Do I have any triggers for my narcolepsy? I know one that gets triggered by unexpected loud noises. No, just always sleeping. It was funny because like I didn't know I fell asleep in the middle of conversations and stuff until like my mom told me one day at therapy, because she came with me one day, and my therapist was like, why did you never tell me you fall asleep in the middle of conversations and things like that? And I was like, because I don't. My mom was like, yeah, you do all the time. And like when later on, I'm gonna post like a compilation, like a carousel of all the pictures we have of me sleeping on set at Mystic, because we have pictures of me sleeping on the floor, like in the liquor aisle of the grocery store from I Still Hope That You're Okay, me sleeping on a park bench from Pick Out a Cloud, me sleeping in the apartment complex from Grow Old, like literally I slept every single like set we were at. So I'll post that sometime. Favorite food? Lasagna. What's my favorite and deepest line in Pick Out a Cloud? So that's a good question. Let me think through the lyrics real quick. This is really hard because, like, in my head I have to sing through the entire song. I'm trying to think. It's probably This Life Isn't Mine, I'm Still Here on Borrowed Time is it for me. Because that really, like, that's really how I feel. Like, I was given a second chance. And I feel like I am constantly, like, I exceeded my expiration date, and now I'm here. Like, this is an allowance given to me. Like, I am not here indefinitely. Like, this could easily be taken away at any point, so I need to be grateful for it. Have I been writing any music or non-music during this quarantine? I've been working on something huge during quarantine. I'm really putting a lot of work into it. One thing I'm doing a non-music writing piece for a publication I've worked with before, that you guys have seen me work with before. And I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll know. Like, as soon as it's released, you guys will know. So I'm working on that. It kind of expands on Mystic a little bit. But I'm also working on a ton of non-music content writing-wise I can't really go into. But, like, when I release this thing I'm working on, I don't know when it'll be. It might be months, it might be years, who knows. You guys are going to lose your shit. It's really cool. Do I like flowers, and what kind? I love red roses. They're my favorite flower. How is my mental space after releasing Mystic? You know, there are ups and downs. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have had some, like, I've had some really great times. I've had some not so great times. Right now I'm kind of working towards really great, but I'm trying not to get manic about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always skeptical when I feel good because I'm afraid I'm about to hit, like, a real, like, crazy manic peak and then, like, come spiraling down. But yeah, you know, just taking it day by day. You're giving examples of mumble rappers. Lil Pump. I'm indifferent. And 6ix9ine, cannot stand. He's a terrible person. Girl, how do you manage this lockdown? How can I cope? Great question. I'm working on it. I'm, like, compulsively cleaning everything, like, working nonstop, etc. Just trying to keep myself busy. Keep myself from eating and sleeping nonstop. But yeah, if you guys want to talk more about quarantine, lockdown, and self-isolation and all that, I'm going live at 7 p.m. every Sunday and Wednesday to talk about it. 7 p.m. CST, that is. And so we can all have a space to vent about all this crazy shit. Hi, Madeline. I love you, little sis. First rated R movie, I think it was The Shining. Favorite horror director. What's his face from Saw? I love the Saw movies, so that's probably up there for me, but I don't really have a favorite director. I'm really bad at venturing through the world of film, so I'm not the person to ask for things like that. I'm also bad at picking favorites. Are there any major Easter eggs we've missed from the videos so far? Man, I feel like, yeah. I won't reveal what specifically, but there are a few things where I'm kind of waiting for people to be like, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? But I think when Goodbye hits, you guys are going to be like, and, like, everything will make sense. Or everyone's going to be extremely confused and I'll have a lot of explaining to do. It's going to be one or the other. Well, Coming for Blood be on the next album, or am I going to release it as a single? I think it'll probably get released as a single. That's what I see. I don't see it going on the next album. I think it has to stand alone. What mainstream artist would I want to work with? Would love to work with Post, obviously. I'm staring at his poster on my wall right up there. I love him. Would kiss him on the mouth gladly. Or even just on the cheek, on the tip of the nose. I don't care. On the forehead. I love him. I would love to work with Kanye. I would love to work with Kanye. 100 Gex is still pretty underground. Flume is amazing. I would love to work with Marina. I don't know if you, and Lana, like, I don't know if you would consider them mainstream, because they're still kind of like, they're mainstream, but they're not, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I'm not good at picking artists to collaborate with, because I always question whether I want to collaborate with them because I like them or because we'd sound good together. Do I like motorcycles? Why not? Can't ride one, but they're nice. I don't mind them. Favorite car is my Mustang. I have a Mustang and I love it. What's my future man gonna be like? Who knows? Have I ever done a collaboration with Snow the Product? No, but like everyone wants me to. What's my all-time favorite song? Before I say Bye Johnny Cash and everyone jumps my ass for not saying in the, the cover by Johnny Cash, Hurt, done in the style of Johnny Cash. I know it was 9 Inch Nails. Every time I mention Hurt, someone's like, actually, it was 9 Inch Nails. And I'm like, I know. I know Johnny Cash covered it. But I think it's the best song ever written and recorded. Off topic, my TED Talk. How awesome was that experience like? How was that experience like? That was the best experience ever. It was insane. If you haven't already, I did a TED Talk, which is like fucking crazy. Like, I cannot believe it. I did a TED Talk, and on the TED Talk YouTube channel, you can find it. It's called Mackenzie Nicole's Mental Health Odyssey. And it's about 16 minutes, 41 seconds long, I think, somewhere in there. And I think it's really good. I worked my ass off. Again, I worked with Chris Gilbert, my acting coach for Mystic, on it, and we worked through it together. And again, it would be nothing without him. It's an amazing piece. I think I'm really proud of it. Please go check that out. Mystic, Mackenzie Nicole's Mental Health Odyssey. It's on the TED Talks YouTube channel. What color are my eyes? They're blue. They look green in every photo and video, but if you get a really good quality photo of them, with a good camera, you can see that they're just teal blue. But people argue with me over that all the time. They're like, no, they're green. I'm like, okay, sure. Favorite and least favorite word. I love that. Least favorite word. I have a couple. I hate the word dongle, like what you plug your headphones into so you can plug them into your iPhone. Hate the word toe, like what's on your feet. And I hate the word juicy. I hate it. Favorite word. That's very difficult. Honestly, it's probably mystic at this point because it conjures up so many positive emotions for me. Favorite artist I've worked with. That's really hard to pick because I've only worked with my family. That's strange. So I will not pick favorites. Okay, someone mentioned earlier there were ads taped up around their town. Is there a person who does that, or is that just strange in general? Yeah, so our street team, our Strange Music street team, does all of the sniping and all the general poster posting and things like that you see around your towns. So they are an amazing group of people. They are incredibly dedicated. They are great at their jobs, and they just kill it. They are the reason we have careers, honestly. So thank you if any street teamers are on here. They are the people to credit for all that. Considering Mystic is a narrative, will I be performing it in its entirety when I tour? Yeah, I would love to. But if I can't, the tour I had planned on the tour I was going on that got postponed, that I played one date of and then it got postponed, that I'm supposed to be on right now. I was playing a couple songs from each section and kind of cherry picking which ones I thought would convey the story the best, and kind of took them through 5 songs throughout the album. I think it was 5 songs. And told the story that way. But if I had the opportunity to perform the entire album, I absolutely would. Have I ever had a huge crush? All the time on everybody. I literally fall in love with everyone I see. It's ridiculous. I'll see someone in passing in the grocery store and I'll be like, oh, our children would be beautiful. I don't even want kids and I'm out here thinking that. It's hilarious. I always have a crush on someone. I'll remind you guys that I am reading all your really sweet compliments, things like that. I love you guys for them. I'm just not going to read all of them out loud because it's like awkward for me to just read compliments about myself to you guys. Which is my advice for someone trying to get their music out there without hiding behind a platform like SoundCloud. Utilizing a platform isn't hiding behind a platform. That's really the only way to get your music out here nowadays, in the digital age. So, will I or have I done anything with Jerry Robinson? I haven't yet, but you never can tell what the future holds. Okay. So now that I'm caught up with all your guys's questions and such, I will probably hop off here in a little bit. I won't probably go to the full hour unless you guys have more questions and stuff. So, if you have anything else left to say, go ahead and send it in. In 10 years, what will my music sound like? Hopefully good. I don't really know what it'll sound like. It's hard to say. I don't really know what it'll sound like in 6 months, so who can truly tell, really? What's my second favorite song off Mystic? It's probably 5 months, 4 days. I love 5 months, 4 days. Sorry, my eye's bothering me really bad. Do I own a helicopter? No. I'm 20 and I'm an artist. Like, do you think I got helicopter money? No. Was it like making a movie with the music videos? It was like making a it was like making a movie in a very short amount of time. Because it is a short film. And we'll release it as a full short film soon. What's my favorite Italian restaurant? Probably Jasper's in Kansas City. I love it. Favorite meditation routine? I use a lot of guided meditations. I do best with that. I do sleep meditations every night so I can sleep. And sleep well. I don't really have a routine. I just meditate to whatever I need at the moment. Do you think you're one of the best artists in the entire music industry? And if not, why don't you think so? No, because I'm not Kanye West, and I don't think highly of myself like that. I don't know. I have no self-esteem, so that's probably why I hate myself. Favorite video I made? That's hard. Probably Goodbye, because it ties everything together, and the big plot twist is in Goodbye, and it's so good. Will I ever make a movie in the future? I plan on working in film more. What type of lipstick am I wearing? I have to get some for myself. Okay, Brandon. It's right here. One sec. I am wearing Urban Decay Faith metallized or metallized. I'm not really, I think it's metallized. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's really nice. It's like a nice, kind of rust shade, very pretty. So nice. Yes. What's my next feature on? No idea. I have nothing unreleased right now in terms of features. Am I dating anyone? Absolutely not. What's my favorite music video? Not mine, currently. I don't really watch music videos, if I'm being 100% honest. I need to, but I don't. I really have no idea. I have, classics that I love, but, stuff by, the Front Bottoms and things like that just, bring back good memories, Skeleton, things like that. Or, Maps by the Front Bottoms is one that brings back really good memories. But I'm not sure what my favorites would be. I don't really watch them. Thank you for the lipstick recommendation. You're welcome, Brandon. Does that blue bracelet mean anything special to me? No, I have a huge scrunchie collection. So, I picked light blue because that's the color Pick Out a Cloud is to me. Very, very cheesy sky blue, but you know what I mean. Yeah. When can the eye pen be available? You'll see. How do I get my mascara to be literally perfect? OMG. Fake eyelashes, girl. That's the secret. Gluing fake hair to your eyeballs every day. Any advice for upcoming artists? Learn the business. It's being an artist is not enough. You have to be a business person too. You have to be an executive if you have the capacity. It is absolutely vital. There's no option. You just have to. Because I always say these executives, they're going to talk at you, they're going to talk through you, they're going to talk over you, but they won't speak to you because they think you're stupid, especially if you're an artist, especially if you're a female, especially if you're young. If you're all three, they think you're an idiot. So, just know more than people think you know, and that'll be your secret weapon. How many instruments can I play? I play piano, and I play guitar. I really don't, but I have 2 guitars, and I like to pretend I can play them, but I'm not good at all. When's my birthday? September 28th, 1999. Saucy. Show your feet? No, I am kicking you out just for that. That bothers me really deeply in my soul. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn that around. Ah! Okay, I'm so challenged. Okay, hide live video from face_MMD. There you go. That's what you get for asking me to show my feet. Okay. Do I plan on getting any other piercings? Nope, just these 2 are enough for me. These ones are really heavy. But no, I just got these done, and I love them, and I'm not doing any more. With the closure of Mystic upcoming, would you say it's left an impression for your future music? Yeah, it really sets the table for the rest of my career, since this is my first expression of myself. You know what I mean? So it's kind of inevitable that it kind of lays the foundation for what I'm doing next. Do you have any advice on how to get through difficult times? I have an anniversary of losing my first baby coming up on Thursday. Any advice at all? I'm so sorry. I know that doesn't change anything. I know I can say as many words as I want to, and it's not going to change anything. Grieving is horrifying and difficult, no matter what you do. I've never lost someone of that gravity to me, but I've lost a lot of people. And I'm so proud of you for continuing, because I know that it's easy to succumb to misery and pain. And I'm really proud of you for not, because that's an incredible loss, an unbelievable, excruciating thing you must be going through. I'm sorry, I don't really have any advice. I don't. There's no positive spin you can put on it, at least not from my perspective. There's no way to make that better. But know that, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that I can't offer anything better, but I'm 20. I'm not a parent. I've never lost a child. I'm not good at dealing with my own stuff. I don't really know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I hope that you find your peace. And that you remain a survivor of this horrible thing. I can't remember what song it was, but when the boyfriend leaves the voicemail, he says, "Bye, Mackenzie." He just says, "Bye." It sounds more aggressive, LOL. Yeah, so for the Mystic visual, I wanted to change the end of happy, because her name isn't Mackenzie. And so it was my best friend's little brother who left those voicemails. The voicemails were based off real texts I received, but I made them into voicemails so they could be sonic. I realized, oh my god, we can't just cut it off at bye, because he slurred bye and Mackenzie together. I had to text him and be like, will you send me a voice memo of you saying bye like you hate me? So that's why it says that. How long does it usually take me to write a song? 15 minutes maybe. That's my average. Just depends on the song. Hi, Merrick's. When does my TED Talk come out? It's already out. If you want to go to the TED Talks YouTube channel, it's Mystic, Mackenzie Nicole's Mental Health Odyssey, by Mackenzie Nicole, obviously. Hi. It's out right now. It's about 16 minutes. So if you got 16 minutes to spare, check it out. I perform some of my songs. I talk a lot. Someone says, why don't you like feet? It's not that I don't like feet. I just don't like when people ask me to show my feet, because it's weird. I will never bend to the will of foot fetishists. Ever. Jesus Christ. If I actually took people up on all the offers I've had for people to pay for me to send them pictures of my feet, I would be so rich. Horrible. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes till cut off. I'll probably get off before then, unless you guys have some more questions you want to send in. So if you have anything else left to say, go ahead and, speak now, forever hold your peace. Yeah. I love that you guys are, right now I'm noticing Ruby Girl 28 and Sonia Partridge 22 are having you guys are having a really beautiful interaction right now. I'm going to call you out for. I thank you for stepping in when I had nothing constructive to say and supporting each other. That's really what I want out of this, is for all of us to have a community with one another. That's kind of like the point of my music when it comes to like appealing to a fan base, is like to create a safe space for all of us. So that's really heartwarming for me. I think that's really beautiful. What inspires me the most when I write songs? My relationships with others and my relationship with myself. Here we go. Just reading everything you guys are saying. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. Thank you guys so much for a beautiful night. How long do I spend on my hair and makeup every day? Lately, since we've been on lockdown, absolutely none. I don't know, it probably takes me 30, 45 minutes to get ready unless I'm curling my hair, which takes forever. But, yeah. Thank you guys again for all the kind words. I love you guys. Have an amazing night. And take care of yourselves, okay? Again, we'll be going live tomorrow at 7 p.m. CST to talk about COVID-19, coping with the lockdown, coping with job loss, school cancellation, whatever you guys are going through. So if you guys need a safe space to talk about what's happening, please tune in, and I'd love to foster that and be a part of that for you guys. All right, guys, I love you so much. Have an amazing night.